Hello and welcome to Mad About Superheroes cartoon commentary on The Incredible Hulk. The episode that we are watching is called Punks on Wheels. I'd like to take a moment while the intro is playing to give a shout out to Anthony Chobot. Anthony has a YouTube channel called Anthony Chobot Does Pop Culture and Openings. Anthony is a great supporter of the channel. Thanks, Anthony. Said before on other cartoon commentaries of mine that 80s cartoons have the best intros, and The Incredible Hulk is no exception. It's one of my all-time favorites. Great montage going on. The Hulk doing his thing. Gives some scenes from one of my favorite episodes of The Incredible Hulk. It was the origin of The Incredible Hulk, with the alien invasion character. And here's the title card, Punks on Wheels. And the episode is written by Paul Dini. Paul Dini, I believe, he wrote some episodes of the Super Friends cartoons. And he went on to write for Batman the Animated Series. And this is a great opening sequence here, dream sequence, or nightmare sequence, actually, with Bruce Banner going up against his alter ego, the Hulk, being chased down by the Hulk. And they would do this kind of stuff in the comics as well, like in his mind, like a mind battle between the two characters, because of course they're basically not the same person, but Bruce Banner is like almost like a host for the Hulk. It's like an alter ego. So I love when they would do this stuff. And there was a episode of the 70s TV series, the live action series, with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk, where they did something like this in his mind, where they encountered each other, and just a cool dynamic for this character. And it's playing out here in this cartoon. And the imagery is really nice also in this episode with this nightmare sequence. And you got the Hulk is about to smash a very small Bruce Banner. That's probably how he feels in comparison to the Hulk personality. The Hulk is so huge and menacing, and you can feel small in the presence of something like that. So he's waking up from his nightmare by Betty Ross, and he's saying here how he's working on a vibranium experiment. Anybody familiar with Marvel Comics or the MCU, you should know what vibranium is. It's the substance that Captain America's shield is made out of, which is very cool. And we got here the motorcycle stunt show going on in the 70s into the early 80s. It was kind of a popular thing where they had this guy or a stunt driver, Evel Knievel, was very popular. He even had his own toys and stuff. And Marvel Comics, to capitalize on that that craze or the success of Evel Knievel, they revitalized or revamped a character that they had called Ghost Rider, who used to be a character on a horse and looked kind of like a cowboy. But they revamped him into a motorcycle driver, which is cool. And, of course, they've made a couple of movies of Ghost Rider. I've done reviews of those. They're on my YouTube channel. If you're interested, you can check them out. And I'll be doing pretty soon I do comic book reviews, and I'll be doing a review of the 90s Ghost Rider when they revitalized the character yet again. But this is cool. Of course, Rick Jones, the supporting character on here, he rides a motorcycle. So now they got these the stunt show going on, and now they've got like a motorcycle gang showing up. They kind of remind me of two things. It reminds me of the Dreadnoughts from G.I. Joe, the toy line, and the comic books, and they had their cartoon series as well. Kind of reminds me of that, and then also like a mix of like the Road Warrior. They kind of look like Road Warrior looking characters. So that's cool. And I guess these guys, this gang really hates snacks. They just destroyed that stand that was selling snacks. There's one thing they hate more than snacks is fruits and vegetables. So they're wreaking havoc, and Who's the man behind the gang, the big guy in charge though? Who could it be? So Rick recognizes them as a local motorcycle gang, and they're called the Screaming Vultures. Kind of a funny name to me. So they're wreaking havoc on this little fair that was going on where they were having this motorcycle show, and they're gonna do the classic, damsel in distress routine, where they're gonna take Rick's girlfriend Rita, who I believe her and her father Rio were created for this cartoon series. I don't remember them in any of the Hulk comics that I was reading of the era, or any back issues that I got, before I started, when I was started collecting comics, and then I got interested in one and got back issues. I don't remember them any back issues, or just from this cartoon series. So yeah, this gang is kind of like an amalgam of of like Road Warrior characters, or actually the Dreadnoughts didn't come out till after this, so they're probably more based on the Road Warrior. But they're kind of interesting looking characters. They seem like they're enhanced cybernetically, or they have like attachments, like robotic attachments to them. I love the sound effects too. They're borrowed from like Battlestar Galactica, the laser blast and all that. They use the same ones on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And Bruce going off a cliff here. And I like this bit that's coming up too, where they were in a military jeep. He pushed Betty out, and he was still inside. And of course, he's the main character. He's not dead. And they rarely do death on cartoon shows of this era, anyways. But he's hanging on a little branch here, and I like this bit too because he's gonna, like I was saying, because he's gonna freak out, and of course he's gonna Hulk out. And this is one of the only episodes that I can remember where they deviate from the stock footage transformation, where they get creative here. And he transforms into the Hulk mid-fall. Like he starts, the branch breaks and he's falling. So that's pretty cool. So instead of the stock footage that we see every episode, we get a little bit of a difference here. And they do that later on too. Like did they misplace the stock footage when they were doing this episode, and they had to get creative? Because they do it like every episode, the same scene over and over again. So that's cool. We got something a little different. Love that, of course. That was a great image of the Hulk too, doing that. The Hulk smash. He's got to say it almost every episode. It's his thing. It's his catchphrase. Like I said, these guys are taking off of Rita. Got to have a reason for the Hulk to pursue them. And they got this avalanche going on here, but a little bit of rubble isn't going to stop the Incredible Hulk. No way. Of course, the Hulk remembers his pal, Rick. And it's I think, a missed opportunity. I think I've said before in other commentaries on the Incredible Hulk that none of the live-action films have included Rick Jones, as a prominent character. I know there was a little like Easter egg or cameo in the Incredible Hulk movie with Ed Norton, but I want like a prominent role for Rick Jones in a Hulk movie. That would be cool because he's very much he's attached to the history of the character, to the origin of the character. He's part of the reason why Bruce Banner transforms into the Hulk. So I think that they should include him in some way. It's not too late. Now we got about almost 10 minutes in, and they're going to reveal who's pulling the strings on this motorcycle gang. And it's the Hulk's arch nemesis, the leader. When I was reading the Hulk comics, in the 80s. He was very much a part of the Hulk storyline when artist Sal Buscema was doing the art. And it's actually what the look of the Hulk in this is based on. It's based on the Sal Buscema artwork. Great artist. I also like in the 90s, Sal Buscema had a run on Spectacular Spider-Man, which I really dug. I have almost a complete run of when he was drawing that series. Not as remembered or as revered of that era as like the Todd McFarlane run on Spider-Man, or like the Eric Larson stuff, or Mark Bagley, but I like very much Sal Buscema's run on Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man as well, from the 90s. And now we got the Hulk has regressed into Bruce Banner. I guess he got bored and tired. He's got that rage is what keeps him going as the Hulk. Once he calms down, he turns back into a fully dressed Bruce Banner. But Bruce is still on the mission. He's trying to track down Rita. And literally, he found tracks from the motorcycles to lead him to the leader. And in this, they haven't met before. This is the first time that Bruce Banner and the Hulk is meeting the leader. And I like this too, where they give you like a really brief, short a background for the leader character, like a little origin story that's only lasts a few seconds. But that's cool. I like how they show the origin like in his head, because he's got that large dome. But it's really cool imagery. It's very, very much like the source material, like the way a comic book would do it. Little loving embrace between Bruce and Betty. Very nice. The leader in the middle. And if anybody knows more or as much about gamma radiation than Bruce Banner, it's the leader. He's got the gamma irradiated brain. Rick called him a conehead. Very, very of the time, the Saturday Night Live sketch, The Coneheads. I remember, I think it was the early 90s, they turned that into a movie. Like, way to jump on the bandwagon super late. We got a little action sequence here. Rick getting to, show off some of his skills. Demonstrate his worth to the supporting cast of Hulk characters. Yeah, and these guys got looks like robotic gizmos, like his arm shot off there, like a Shogun warrior or something. And Rita swooning over Rick. You were wonderful. I like the leader's look here, but I like a little better when they revamped it in the late 80s, early 90s, mentioning the McFarlane run on the Hulk. I think it was around then where they gave leader's head mutated and had all these weird bumps on it and stuff, and they gave him a little armored suit. So the leader's got Bruce and Betty strapped down to this chair, this gizmo. And the leader's objective in this is he's trying to get a hold of the vibranium experiment that Bruce was working on in the beginning. And there's some kind of vibranium shipment that's coming in that he wants to steal. But I like this gizmo they got him strapped up to. It's very sci-fi, like old school sci-fi. And it's got these hair dryer things over their heads. That's what it looks like. But kind of reminds me of the memory implant chair from Total Recall. Again, Total Recall was much later than this. But there's lots of other sci-fi that's influenced by. But again, another creative transformation scene here. They don't use the stock footage where he's strapped in this chair, and they do that cool image with his going into his eye, and they just deviate from that stock footage, which I like very much. And it doesn't take. It's very easy to get the Hulk irritated and for him to start smashing shit. And again, the classic damsel in distress, whether it's Rita or Betty. And very very old school monster movie too, with the Hulk carrying Betty, like classic monsters, whether like Frankenstein or something like that, where you got the monster carrying the beautiful girl. Again, doesn't take much to set him off. You hurt Betty, I'm gonna mess you up. I like this too with the military driving the canisters in the background. Kind of reminds me of the zombie movie from the 80s, the sequel, Return of the Living Dead 2, in the beginning, where the military was transporting the big drums. I think that with the zombies in them, and then of course the drums fall off, and then the whole movie happens. Now I'm really getting serious road warrior vibes here, Mad Max vibes with the motorcycle gang and the truck. Jeez. Yeah, Marvel was involved in G.I. Joe as well, so like I said, I was getting some Dreadnought vibes from these guys too. They knocked these guys out with some sort of gas, and they're gonna get that vibranium off the back of that truck. The bad guy always has to somewhat obtain his goal, for the heroes to come in and thwart them, And that motorcycle helmet the leader is wearing is ridiculous. They're gonna shoot him out of a cannon later. Not really, I'm just joking. That's what it looks like. It also looks like, like an egg. It looks like Egghead. And the Hulk's gonna make short work of these motorcycles. And these guys with their little robotic gizmos. So yeah, they're no match for him, but they got to put the leader's brain to use. The leader's not going to be able to beat him with brawn. It's the irradiated brain versus irradiated brawn. Gamma rays, that is. Yeah, see, he's got some kind of gas to slow him down, but not for long. We only got a few minutes left of the episode. The Hulk's got to come back quick. And I love the Stan Lee narrations. Not every episode has them, but you miss them when they don't have them. Betty's trying to contact her father, General Thunderbolt Ross, and very comedic here, where she's trying to flag down this military truck, and of course the leader's driving it. Very clever. How many times have you seen that in a movie or a show? Trying to flag down a car or something, and it winds up being the bad guy. So Dr. Banner can barely remember stuff that happens when he transforms into Hulk. He only remembers bits and pieces. That was a cool bit that they did in talking about the Ed Norton Incredible Hulk movie, where he's taking a shower and he starts to get flashback from the water splashing in his face, and he starts to remember like gunfire in his face when he's the Hulk. So that's kind of cool. I like that that bit in that film. Now we got Bruce Banner on a motorcycle. And what's coming is that he's going to get agitated, angry, and he's going to turn into the Hulk on that motorcycle. It's coming up right here. Very fun. There it goes. Another transformation scene where it's, again, they're deviating from the stock footage. He's riding that motorcycle, turning green. It ain't easy being green. Just ask Kermit the Frog. That was a cool image with the hand coming towards the camera. It reminds me of the ads, the posters for the I think it was Ang Lee's Hulk, where they had that image in the poster where the hand is coming forward. His big giant green hand. He's shaking down this biker to get information of where the leader is, and he's going to give him shaken baby syndrome or shaken biker syndrome. It's a coin of phrase. I want a quarter every time somebody says it. So he's trying to make vibranium weaponry, so he wants to make some missiles out of the vibranium. And the Hulk burst through that wall. Betty was sitting right there. He could have killed her. Did he know? He doesn't have X-ray vision like Superman. You know that she was sitting right there. Not much for brains, the Hulk, but you know, still love him. His heart's in the right place. The leader's trying all his tricks, all the weapons he's got on him, but you know. And the Hulk's using is that super breath or super bad breath. Knock him out with my super bad breath. He's got the leader on the run now. Gonna make one last effort. Try to bring the Hulk down. See how that works for him. I love the maniacal laugh. Every supervillain's got to have one. The evil laugh. And again, Hulk's gonna have a dumbass moment where he's gonna throw that vibranium canister. He's gonna put it down, all right. Yeah, so now he's got the leader on the run. Stan Lee's got to explain to us what's happening. Yeah, so like he's the vibranium explosion could have killed Betty. The leader thinks he's escaping, but I like this bit too, where General Thunderbolt Ross and Ned Talbot, they show up in the 11th hour to round up the thugs, the bad guys. And now again, almost like in every episode, the Hulk rescues Betty. Bring the whole mountainside down. Little father-daughter reunion there. The Hulk runs away to smash another day. Again, he's like, all that rubble that he just smashed is like, you know, landed on General Ross and Betty. We got the trio, Rick, Betty, and Bruce together again. And Stan Lee narrating us out. What a cool episode. Really love the leader character. Like I said, him and Rick deserve more attention in the live action films. Great image of the Hulk there too. Very cool. It was a whole lot of fun revisiting this episode. It's one of my favorites. And I hope you enjoyed watching it with me. And as always, thanks for letting your geek flag fly with Mad About Superheroes. Please like the video, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and feel free to comment down below. And I'll see you on the next cartoon commentary.